between these two teams.
You see? Oh, this is what I've always wanted.
Do we ever believe in even games, though? I know we talk a lot about, like, it's going to be a hype game or it's going to be a very tight game, and they're like, it's a 25k net worth lead game. Let's be serious here, Freak. I mean, people demand answers. Is this going to be a tight game?
No. I think... no. I think... I mean, I am gonna give you a straight up answer. We're not politicians here. We're analysts. We're geniuses at our game, you know. So, there's gonna be some word wars here. Yeah, army geniuses. So the thing, how I think the game is gonna end up, that army geniuses are gonna be. That Polaris are gonna dodge army geniuses around their towers. As soon as they see TPs, they're gonna move back, and they're not gonna allow for their DP to fall. And then they're gonna try to defend their towers with the arenas, stuff like that. And if the towers don't fall for them, then the blink on the DK just not gonna be able to do much. And I think that's how the game is most likely gonna go.
Also want to point out that this level 1 battle, this is going to be a Shadow Shaman most likely going down, but they might get the Juggernaut instead! They will! DP will be the one to fall first on the arms of the Mars, so the bait pulls through. Azura will get a kill on Xavier, so that does allow the mid DK to get a tiny head start for himself in terms of the mid lane. But I'm too good at this rune, bro. That's the way to put it. What I really wanted to say is talking about Mars starting with God's Rebuke instead of Spear when you have Shadow Shaman starting off like that as your offlane duo. As you can see, Xavius has moved into +4 in a way in here. You've got the slow that allows the Shaman to get 4 punches in, and that just works so well together.
Yeah, for sure. And usually you would like the God's Rebuke. You just want to... It's easier with it to get less hits, and it costs a little bit less mana, but it's still a good point that you brought up, that it's actually going to allow the Shadow Shaman to get more hits in. If with the Spirit, you usually push them a little bit farther back, and then Xavius wouldn't be able to do his job. So this top lane, when I already touched on the Mars and the Shadow Shaman, they need to keep the Juggernaut low. And if they don't do it, DB will always be able to go for a spin with an Inkswell. But if he's like 50% HP, it's going to be a tough one. So you can see that Xavius is doing his best, and let's see if his best is good enough.
Yep, and then there's also the interaction with the Juggernaut spin and the Spear. If you start with Spear, you use it, then you're like, oh, well, I have spin, we can chase and kill. Or you can't throw the Spear into the spin as well, so that's also a way to dodge and go in. So Rebuke is just so much better in so many more ways. But...
Sure.
Talking about mid, which is probably going to be our least action-filled lane. Most likely DP is just going to have a 65 to 70% advantage over the DK here. Not necessarily killing the DK, but keeping up good pressure, constant hitting, gun and poking the whole time. And they're both still going to farm. So I don't think there's going to be too much exciting stuff happening here. Just a basic Dragon Tail spam. Maybe some Breathe Fire that hurts the DP. Get a tiny CS advantage if that's the case, but... when DP gets levels, you get Crypt Swarm. You don't need to right-click anymore.
It's a skill-based matchup. Who gets more last hits? Might be a bit easier for the DK being a melee hero, but pretty much it's... if there's a kill, it's a huge mistake from either side.
Bot lane is very tight as well. 10 versus 9 in the CS department for both of the Natsumi Void and the Womi Timber. Looking all good on that department, so nothing there. But this top lane, it is where your eyesight should be at. Though it is only the pre-3 minutes, but really the impacts or the repercussions of the 3-4 minutes of this laning stage might show in a couple minutes after.
It's gonna be once DB and Varys hit level 3, that's when they would want to go in. So Polaris, they did a really good job pre-level 2, that they kept DB low, they forced him to spin. They would like to do the same thing right now, but it's just a little bit harder to do. You can see Xavius is dead.
With the Inkswell, that should be a dead Shaman. Xavius able to take this one. Army Geniuses finding their second kill of the game. That is, you know, pretty old school combos. Oracle Jug, Grimstroke Jug, CM Jug. We actually talked a lot about these Juggernaut
Lich
combos.
Jug.
Yeah, well, if you put, I mean, we have a Grimstroke here, so we could make like a a class tier system here. How high would you grade from S to F the Juggernaut Grimstroke?
S for sure.
You say
it's
S.
an S tier lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Juggernaut Oracle?
B.
Okay. What about the Juggernaut and the CM?
A plus.
A plus. Okay. Which one do you like the most?
Grimstroke for sure.
Grimstroke, yeah.
And the Lich is also quite solid, but
Lich.
it also depends on the matchup. But in most matchups, Jug loves playing with the Lich.
So why do you like the Jug and the Grimstroke? Because the Omni Slice interaction is a bit different and stuff like that. But what is it? Is it the Inkswell AoE stun?
It's the during the lane, they crush it because you can kill someone from 100 to 0, which is something that the Juggle likes, or you can at least put them in a situation where they can't fight. So when during your Blade Fury downtime, you're actually okay, which is actually a dangerous time for the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
On the other hand, also later on in the game, you can go for a spin, and with the Inkswell with the shard, they can't turn and kill the Juggernaut with the physical damage because it's gonna pop. He's gonna be healing up, and it's gonna be disastrous. So those are the reasons. Right now Juggernaut is mostly played on the shard and just spins and does the damage with the spin talent. So the Inkswell really complements that the best for sure.
Like, Inkswell is such a good spell, and especially with the 15-minute shard. Like the hero just kind of found new heights, you could almost say. Like the way the healing kicks in, the way you really want to get those shards on some heroes instantly at the 15-minute marker, like even prioritizing over anything else. Like some heroes looking at Wraith Packs and Aether Lenses, but some still want to go for the shard right away if they can.
Yeah, you do want to, because it's just too good. It's just too good, especially on a position 4 Grimstroke, and it's the only thing you can get. Like, it's not too expensive. So minute 15, let's say minute 18, you get it. You're still not going to be able to farm anything better at that point.
6 minutes into this one, we got the DK leading in CS, but followed by every other core, basically on both sides. So all looking good there. Cookie misses on Azura. Just gets slowed up by TMV. The stand-in player for Polaris, playing on the Snapfire. Had a pretty decent performance on the Bane. I still think one of his best performances in the last game was sitting in a Shadow Amulet next to the secret shop, popping all 5 smokes, and they couldn't find him. That really enabled them to win that one. Really important team fight. Cookie
Polaris
all the way
going
from
mid.
the shackles. Very nice. This time, the slows there. That should do it. Exorcism ticks coming in after they get the scatter blast to connect. And Narmum still moves around the area, but this tower is going to take a hefty amount of damage. There's no catapult, though, so they're going to have to live with the wave. Narman wants to pull the wave away from the tower, as he does. Can they get this all the way through? Do they get the last hit? Does it get denied? Should be a last hit in this case, because Narman's forced away. Very good move from the Zadius. Like, he could die for this tower, technically, but he doesn't even lose his life. And meanwhile, top lane, well, the combo has been used. Mars is dead.
There is a guy that's gonna die for that tower, just not in the mid lane, but on the top. A really big move from Polaris. I actually think they didn't need to take that tower down. Looking at their heroes, until the Mars has the blink, you're not gonna be getting much value from that tower being down, other than the DK now actually feeling not so safe going for your tower. So it's not gonna be the aggressive moves from Polaris right now, but it's just easier for them to be defensive, and we can see that they drafted that way. You see at Army Genius's lineup, it's very important for them to get that early lead and start pushing forward in terms of towers. And you can see now Azura, he's aware of this and he's going towards the Timber. He needs a help of a core to get a tower down, because it's not looking good in the mid lane. He would be in too much of a trouble. That's why Polaris also, they gotta face this Void, because he's one of the heroes, we talked about it, that can stay in the lane for a long time against the Timber. Why? Use the time dilation and you can easily get yourself away. So Army Genius is a nice move. At least they're gonna be getting something down. If you don't have the mid lane tower, you at least need to control the bottom part of the map to get to that mid lane tower before the DK gets his blink.
Well, you love to see it when you're pushing 8 minutes in with a Timber Saw and a DK. Both of them who just love to fully commit onto, just zoning into that one lane. Tunnel vision, the only thing you see is the creep wave that's walking towards you and the tower right behind it. There's no other place on this map, basically, for you.
the thing that I was kind of so it was cool to me, kind of boring game, but OG played the Timber, so Amar played it in the major, and what he did is that he just went on farming the jungle until he had an item to remove the spirit vessel. The thing is, there's most likely not going to be a spirit vessel on the side of Polaris, though Faces Void.
Oh, beautiful. That burst damage from the level 3 Fate Ball. But yeah, do carry on.
Yeah, so you just farm, and then when he had the Lotus Orb and the BKB, and that's when he went on to fight, even though his troll was kind of suffering. So that was kind of a new way to show how to play Dota. TMV, is he really gonna survive this?
All these supports almost dying, interrupting Harry Freak's dialogue. I mean, this is insulting, you could say, almost say.
Unacceptable.
But very good jukes, nevertheless, because Jug still got Omni Slash. Does he go in for... Oh, Narman also wanted to go for the quick snipe, but he's going to lift one. He's going to zap the other. Doesn't get a kill on TMV, and that's going to be a dead Rubik. So all I can just do slow clap. That was just beautiful Snapfire play. And they're also going to be catching the Timber Saw for a second. They built the Timber Chan out of this one, lining up almost for a Chronosphere here, but that Breathe Fire is going to make them hit a little bit less harder. They still got some spells to work their way through, so Army Geniuses will lose not only the Rubik, but also the Timber Saw.
Yeah, you could see Narman definitely being one of the supports that has some... is actually quite a nice guy. As soon as I stopped talking, he went in and died. So that is how the supports should
respecting the casters.
Yeah, for sure. That is something you have to do. But so definitely an Army Geniuses fan right now, because they did show some class there. Either way, very nice response from Polaris. I liked it. They used the DP ulti on the top lane, and suddenly Army Geniuses think, okay, we can take this mid lane tower down. But with all of those baits, with the Snapfire surviving through everything, it actually created enough space for the Mars to go in, and Polaris came with 5 of their heroes. They understand the importance of this mid lane tower, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of brawling around this one, because if it doesn't fall, the DK will get his blink, and the Zura won't be able to do enough. You need the mid lane tower to be down so that you can have access to both the triangle and the bottom part of the map.
Still, this is semi-even for now. Polaris will decide to go for the 3-man smoke. Xavier's Lelouch and TMV joined by the Chronosphere, which Natsumi would like to use. Also keeping a short eye open onto this Roshan as well, because they could, with an Exorcism, try it with the wards as well. I mean, might as well just go straight into the Rosh pit and take it without any kills needed. It is going down fairly fast, but there's the party pooper. There's Varus.
They're not using Exo, though.
Oh, yo, Roche is gonna kill the Shaman. The cookie backfires. Oh, dear. There goes the Exorcism, though. They're gonna have to make some move. Timber there. They're gonna all just jump straight into the pit. It's snatched by Womi. Then it's taken for the Timber. The Chronosphere is gonna be there, but it's a complete disaster for Polaris and Army Geniuses. They had the strategy, they had the battle plan. These guys are experienced generals. They know how to handle this one. And it's just simple footmen in the pit dying in the hands of Roshan. Complete disaster.
Man, complete disaster. Okay, so now we go back to your question. Can I kind of go back on my answer if this game is going to be close or who's going to be winning that one?
Unfortunately, it's going to be very hard to rewind the time, but I'm pretty sure we can do some voiceover manipulation on the VOD, so nobody actually heard what the original idea was. But still, for Army Geniuses, it couldn't have gone better for them. They only have the Timber Saw now with the Aegis, so I mean, even if they kill him once, he's pretty hard to kill, so he's gonna respawn again, making it double hard to kill. So is that like a Die Hard 2 reference? I don't know. He's being chased up. The Omni Slash is gonna be taking down the Mars as they're pushing and taking this tier 1 tower in the process, and this game has just taken a complete 360-degree turn, and you're walking back into the Xbox store. You didn't want to go there, but now you're stuck there anyway, and that tower is gonna fall.
So we talked about being humble in the last game. Well, Polaris, if they had a bit of humility there and used all of their spells immediately, they would have had the Roche right now, and they wouldn't be in a position where Army Geniuses are completely controlling the map. Now the mid lane tower is gone, and the Zura has his Blink Dagger, which means what? You can get kills, and the first on line is Natsumi.
This is so good. They're smoking up right away. Polaris is finally kind of like, okay, we need to start resetting and regrouping. Maybe get like a small moment to catch our breaths. And Army Geniuses is like, nope, we're not taking that. We're taking that breath from you as well. We're keeping you asphyxiated as they're jumping with a blink onto the Snapfire with the Inkswell. And that's going to be another kill going their way. And Army Geniuses are looking hot. Triple net worth lead on all their cores. Polaris is going to have to come up with some kind of game plan.
Also, with Womi having that Aegis, that is kind of the reason why they got the mid lane tower. He, as you said, very hard to kill once, but he postures aggressively in Polaris. They're not going to be able to kill him. And now, when you look at Polaris's lineup, you don't want to fall too far behind because you want to use your ultis aggressively to force out TPs and not just keep dying on your part of the map like what's happening right now.
Yep. It is exactly that. A strolling, wandering shaman found in the bot lane. At least the Mars is able to TP out away from the bot lane. I'm kind of worried about how big of a power spike Army Genius has got in terms of net worth, because they're closing up on their next items very fast. Grimstroke he's got his shard already lined up. He needs 800 gold to get that for himself. We had the blink on the DK. He's built up an extra 1,000 gold after that team fight thanks to that. We have a BKB almost up on the Timber Saw, and the Manta is being built on the Jogger, who already has his Maelstrom, so things are looking good. But here comes the move from Polaris. Mars blink with the smoke.
The thing is, they can only kill Narman. Even if they do, it's not good. And you can see that Army Geniuses are coming over. Jugger probably has a TP ready. Yep, they don't. Okay, now they do.
Army Geniuses are coming, so as soon as they see the Rubik, they could look for an answer, but they need to get this kill first. It is taking some time because they're suspecting more people to show up, and they finally blink in for the stun. And now they've revealed everybody. Azira coming in from the back. They got Wumi coming in from the side as well. The blink stun's going to be there onto the Mars and going for that kill as Nevermind will fall. That will be the Mars for the Rubik trade taking place. Army Geniuses do get a core for the cost of their support. Trap had been laid and everything went as planned.
That's as good as it gets for Polaris in this kind of scenario. You get a kill, you force TPs, and you get out with only one of your heroes going down. So you're gonna be happy with that one if you're Polaris. You need to stop this game from going out of control, because Army Geniuses, that's exactly what they want to do right now. They have all of the things they need. Now let's see if they can use it effectively. They also need to read these kind of moves. And in my mind, I would actually just let the Rubik die. It would have been much better for Army Geniuses, because Polaris, they can't push in this kind of a scenario. They have to stay back, and they would just have a lot of heroes there. But with the fight going on and with the Army Geniuses being on top, this is not a part of the map that you actually want to be in. But just look at how scared Polaris are. They just can't get a single part of the map to go their way.
They are, and that's the worry about playing a Faceless Void as well in this lineup, is that you need time. You need time to hit hard. You need talents to attack fast. You need items to hit hard. And that's going to be a bit of an issue. So it's just going to have to suffice with kills like these. They're using 2 ultis to take down Norman's Rubik. Maybe open up on a push towards the bottom tier 1 tower is something that they want to get. Maybe even some chip damage, even if they don't take the full tower right away. But they need time.
I expected Army Geniuses, when they were all on the top lane, to just push as hard as possible with the Jugger, and now finally they're going to be doing it. The thing is, Polaris got a kill, and they're pushing the bottom lane, so they're getting more. And you're going to be seeing this a lot with Polaris. Whenever they see a solo hero split pushing or pushing out the lanes from the side of Army Geniuses, they're going to want to kill him, and Rubik is probably going to be the one attacked more often.
First off, pops his BKB instantly on the hunt for the Shadow Shaman. No kill for him. We can accept that tip in good faith.
Again, solid scenario for Polaris. They force out TPs. They don't get the tower, lose a tower of their own, but considering the circumstances, they can't fight right now. You have a team fight lineup that cannot fight, so their spells are exclusively going to be used for support kills. Most likely, it's ideal if you can get a core, but they're always going to be somewhat protected and in the vicinity of other players. So Polaris, they just need to play fast and catch Army Geniuses every single time they try to push in the lanes, or the lead is just going to continue jumping up.
Going to be a lot of difficulties here for Polaris now. They need their ultis up to be able to fight back against Army Geniuses, but they're not ready for it either. Mark with his Ember's will live for a bit longer. The Inkswell doesn't connect though. It's a bit off point, and Polaris want to fight. Exorcism. There's the Mars Arena coming in as well. Timber's dropping low on HP, and he will be taken down with no BKB. That's where it really pays off for him. He gets punished as that BKB he used in the bot lane a bit too early. That ends up being a premature death for him. But that's an Exorcism for just a Timber kill. They need more. They needed so much more out of this, Harry. They need like a second kill and maybe get a push going on, but no.
You're in a position where that is the most that you're gonna get. Polaris should be happy. Just reset, another ulti, another kill. That's how you approach it. Once Mars has the arena again, or the Void gets his chrono, which is in 20 seconds, then TMV is gonna be playing with either of them just to get a kill. I think Polaris, if they went for a chase, would be worth the top lane.
Oh, that's just pure up pain. He does get the heals out. He's able to jump in on time thanks to the stick and the fairy fire he's been holding on to since early game. Now he's hiding in the trees.
They're baiting.
Oh. There's a 4 versus 3. There's a 4. Yeah, there's a big scenario here. They've got the Shaman wards down. Brimstroke's not feeling too healthy. Narman. Does he spot Natsumi? Natsumi finds him as well, but the missed scatter blast out, the instant chrono. Here comes Azura with the stun though. Basis Void is gonna go down. They've lost Natsumi, and that's not what they wanted. They will take down Norman. Here comes the TK falling, and here we have the backup from Womi and DB. And they're gonna get the Omni Slash to take down the Snapfire, and they will also take the Shadow Shaman in response. Oh, Natsumi. Good dodge at the start, but Chrono's fearing himself, trying to look for the kill, and DK walks in for the kill. Throws the stun, the fireball, the breathe fire is too much to deal with.
Polaris just, there's the, let's be a bit greedier there, get a bit more. After they've killed one, I think you could have bailed out, but they used so many TPs to the top lane, so they wanted to make the best out of it. And Army Geniuses actually maneuvering quite well in that fight. You know, you lose 2 of the supports, but some of the big spells go down on Polaris. Again, though, what I'm liking from Polaris is that they're not using all of their spells together, so that they're completely useless and can't do anything around the map. So they're gonna have the arena, they're gonna have the exorcism, so it's possible for them to fight once again if there's a big objective like a Roach being on the menu.
There's DD Timber available. BKB is still there, so they have to time their stuns and their control for the damage. Halfway done, Shackles. Gotta be enough. Exorcism.
Does that look like a tanky hero to you?
Not really when you put it that way. I mean, they did use the Exorcism for the kill. They didn't do that much right-clicking. It was mostly spells, so it was lacking armor. But yeah, I agree with you. It's not really a scary Timbersaw. Roche is also going to be up in 4 seconds, but that Exorcism running out. That's a 2-minute downtime for Polaris. Maybe Army Geniuses can find a bit of a loophole in this. If they scout out Roche, which they will with this Juggernaut illusion walking into the pit, they know there's no Exorcism. They might just go for it, but they're going to smoke on. 4-man smoke. Going into the triangle, hunting for a kill. Is there anybody in the vicinity? And a bit of a pause. A bit of a suspense pause as well, Harry. What's the plan?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so the DK's BKB is coming. So you want to use these BKBs on the Timber and on the DK to win a fight where Polaris are forced to use all their spells. So the best way to do it is go into Roche. Ideally, you'd like to get a kill and then walk into the Roche. And then it's, if Polaris buy back, you know that they're coming and stuff like that. But still, Army Geniuses, they want to walk into the Roche. They want to pop the BKBs when the arena or the chrono comes up. And then you're going to win that fight if you're not super low. But look at what Polaris is doing. Just to look at Xavius. So he's forcing the TPs to come towards the top lane and kind of separate Army Geniuses, because you can see from the movements from Polaris, they understand they're being hunted right now. They just don't understand they're super weak, super weaker than the opponents just because of that DK BKB that's going to be delivered right now.
Smoke leads into a kill onto the Snapfire at least, so they're not left completely empty-handed. The wards are cleared out by Womi, farming them one by one. Does a bit of damage onto that tier 2 tower, and Roche is exactly what they want to do. They want to go for it, but where is Mr. Chrono Man, Mr. Natsumi?
Without the snap, I think you let it go. I think it's the smartest move from Polaris right now to just let this one go.
They're going. Nevermind is moving out right in front of the rush pit area. I guess they're still making, like, Nevermind was like, I want to go, but it's going to be too late for them. Roche, they're stalling the take. They're stalling it. Azura with the blink stun onto the DP. Roche is taken, and Natsumi doesn't never get the chrono off on time, but the Soulbind will be used, and DB is being whipped forward by his allies. And just charge into the fight. They're going to take down the Rubik. Sabius and Norman both down. BKB also used off of Womi. Now they are chasing the Mars. Momentarily, DB is there. Azura is also making his way with the Timber Chain. And that should be a quad Mars. He's got nowhere to go. 2 for 1, Roshan taken.
You could see Polaris there. They didn't want to go without the Snapfire. Nevermind was like, I want to go. You're not going anywhere without the Elders.
Yeah.
You know, you need their wisdom. So that's why they wait for the Snapfire and they go immediately. But the thing is, they were a bit too late. You could see Faceless Void having the shard there. Natsumi just goes in like, nope, I'm out of here. It's not a fight we can take. But still, a big thing for Polaris is that they are forcing out the BKBs, not on the DK, but at least on the Timbersaw. It's getting lower and lower. And this is now the part of the game where Army Geniuses are so much stronger, but you cannot ignore them if you're Polaris. You at least need those BKBs to go lower and lower, given the situation that you've put yourself in with that first Roche. So I'm curious to see if Polaris are going to be able to get those BKBs down, or if Army Geniuses will get everything they need in the next 5 minutes.
See what they can do with this. Tier 2 tower about to be taken to the bot lane. There's a DD rune as well waiting at the river. Polaris would like to take that on their Faceless Void. We're looking at Natsumi's items. That chrono is still up. He's about to finish Mjolnir. That's a huge source of his damage. But he's still a very soft glass cannon. You've seen what 1 DK stun and a fireball can do to him.
Was Dire's courier murdered?
Ideally, the Faceless Void would like to get a Mask of Madness Maelstrom into a BKB. Jump in and be able to fight. Oh, bottom lane.
Considering DB almost getting a catch there, but the cookie save is also in place. 3 minutes still on the Aegis too, so Army Geniuses, they're not in a rush. They also have backdoor protection to fight against, so they're leaving the high ground for now. DK also going for Aghanims now, and Jug building into a Scotty. I'm a bit worried about how tanky this Jug is going to be after that item pickup.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to kill him. But you can see, as we mentioned, Faceless Void now, with him going for a Mjolnir, he actually wants to be able to kill the supports 100% in the chrono. That is the idea. So you want the supports to die. Yeah, you want the supports to die. If the Juggernaut is left alone in the end, we all know he gets hexed up, the Shackle, and the Exorcism will kill him. There's no amount of tankiness that's going to help him there. So that's what Polaris are gunning for, but it's not the most optimal way to play the Faceless Void. You want to be able to go in, use the BKB, fight.
Nice lift there from Norman, able to catch him, but there we have the BKBs coming out in time. They're going to be taking down the Rubik instantly, and the Grimstorm's going to be following as well. They're going to be taking down 2. Azura with the Chronosphere connecting by Natsumi. Can they take the DK down? He's very tanky. He's got 29 armor. He's tanking. The stun goes down onto the Void as well. And Xavius will be blinking in and making sure they will get these, so the Aegis doesn't get used in this team fight as Polaris take 3.
This is the problem of you not having burst damage from the DP, so you're trying to do everything perfectly, a lift into a stun, everything in a millisecond precision, but you just make one mistake, the BKB comes out, and Lelouch, there's no one that can kill him. Even a full-blown Omni Slash with him sucking on the DK and let's say on the Timbersaw would be disastrous. So Polaris, they defend their tower, and this is quite big.
Oh, Natsumi's surrounded by enemies. He's time walking into one and jumping all the way back. So he's got the backup here. DB's still on the hunt. Here comes Norman. Do they use their Omni Slash onto the Mars? Never mind. I think he's just going to tank and soak all of his damage. So they do get some damage onto the tier 2, but not an actual objective. They will lose a hero.
You know, Nevermind is gonna be like, I saved you, but deep down he's gonna be hating Natsumi for that one, you know?
Yeah.
The only reason he was put in that position is like, I'm waiting for you, bro. I'm gonna try to spear them back. The thing is though, Polaris, they don't have their spells right now. Army Geniuses need to go forward. They did save their Aegis, so very nicely done by DB. 1 tier 2, that's great. ideally you would like to get all of the outer towers down. Then Army Geniuses would actually be happy with how this Aegis transpired. But with it expiring right now, Polaris, make no mistake, even without the exorcism, they would fight the top lane tower. There's no way you let it go right now.
5,000 lead for the Army Geniuses. Might as well take a quick glimpse on these graphs as well. That win probability at the lowest was about 19% for Polaris. And it's feeling like a much more even game now. So we don't have to remove all our quotes off of the VOD, so we're still safe. Still safe on that department, at least. Nobody will remember anyway. They won't even remember me saying Danog is cute. So there's that. But 28 minutes into this one, Polaris, we're starting to get this Faceless Void online, and we're getting the level 20 talent now.
Yeah,
we have the 20 talent online. What does it go for though? Obviously, attack speed during the chrono. Always go for that talent. Do you ever go for the time lock damage?
If you are a offlane void that is going a shard agonyms, then yes. So because you're just jumping in and out. So no.
Right. Oh yeah, true. Because of the time walk damage applied when you jump in. True. Yeah, that makes sense. That's true. Or I was about to throw in a very bad joke, but you know, you always pick it up when you're level 30. So.
Oh, okay.
It took you a moment to realize, wait a minute. All right, true. Anyway, that's it. Polaris with their exorcism taking down the tier 2 tower. They also get a bit of poke onto this tier 3, and can they get this one out of the way? They are glyphing their tier 2 and their creep wave. They're actually going to get this. They might lose some heroes for it, though. Shadow Shaman. Yeah. Still a pretty good price to pay. 1 hero for 2 towers. They kept their tier 2 up as well, so that's great success.
Yeah, cool approach. If they had lost their tier 2 on the top lane, it would have been bad, because you won't have any access to the Roche pit, and your enemies having outposts plus 2 tier 1 towers, tier 2 towers close to the pit would be quite great. So Army Genius, they don't want to stay on the bottom lane for too long. That's why they're smoking. On the bottom lane, there's nothing for them other than farm, and these are not really good farming heroes. So you immediately go for a smoke. Polaris should know about this. Only the Timber showing.
TMB is dead. Or not. See, blinks at the same time as the DK. Blinks on top of him, but he's still going to get hunted down. This DK can move wherever he likes. There's a dragon
versus lizard.
Dragon versus lizard, and a grandma just getting caught in the midst. So you could almost say that that's a bit of a collateral brought up on the lines of fire. TMB sniped by Narman. Rubik says that's my kill.
Okay, so Polaris still have the tier 2 on top. Not only does it help you fight for Roche, it helps you defend your base. Because when you lose all of the outer towers, you have nowhere to go for a big fight, and then you always have to go for it with the smokes. With that tower being up, it's always going to be hard for Army Geniuses to take every part of the map out, because against Polaris, you're not winning if you just walk up high ground. You can have 3 Aegises, and still there's going to be a spear back, and you're going to get pulled into it. The Exorcism and the Chrono will kill you.
Let's not give Ice Frog any ideas.
You know what? Ice Frog is a genius. You give him a bad idea like this one, and maybe he turns it into something good. So,
at least from the words that I've heard, he's sleeping, so he's ignoring us. This was from a very credible source, obviously. But I wonder what would happen. I mean, how broken would the game be if there are 2 Aegises? I think it just doesn't fit in the lore anymore, so I don't think that's ever gonna happen, unless you're playing some arcade game.
And the lore is very important to the game of Dota.
Obviously, I mean, all of the competitive gaming is based on lore. I mean, we're writing stories about legends winning TI, so why can't we talk about, like, the double Aegis spawn or something like that being related from some crazy dragon who didn't lay an egg, but instead they made a box somewhere, and that box turned into Io, and then Io suddenly turned immortal and They're just using IO as a meat shield, giving you a technical second Aegis. I don't know.
I was going more with the like that prophet is a witch. She's afraid of being burnt on a stake, so dragons scare her. But sure, you know your story does make much more sense.
I mean, I guess some historians might debate on that. But let's talk about the Dota instead, about history of Dota. This game is probably not going to be written into the history books though, as Polaris and Army Geniuses are playing a somewhat even game, I guess you could put at this point. Polaris has kind of withstood the storm, getting themselves back into this one. Faceless Void is looking deadly. DK does have 4k HP. We talked about the tanky Timber Saw. Not. He's still 2.6k. Sanjay Kaya, sorry. He is a bit tankier now.
Okay, so next Roche is gonna be the big point of contest. Army Geniuses, they have their big core items. The DK with the Aghanim Scepter is actually quite tanky. The thing is, you want to... I still don't see them winning a fight unless Lelouch dies. Of course, you can have a perfect fight, you'll kill the other 4 and Lelouch just doesn't come over, but if it's a straight up fight, it's gonna be in a relatively neutral ground where none of the teams have more vision. If Lelouch doesn't die, you don't win a fight. He's gonna run over you. And the thing is, how do you kill him? Where does your burst damage come from? We're looking at this Juggernaut, Eye of Skadi. Does that sound like a burst damage item? Not really. It's gonna prevent the heals a little bit on Lelouch, but at some point he's gonna be okay. 3000 HP, 27 armor. This guy is very unlikely to die, and you can see Army Geniuses, they're kind of lost at this point. They're looking, what are we supposed to do, where are we gonna play, and for now they're just gonna play around the Roche. But I don't think they win a fight despite a 3k gold lead. They need to have better vision, they need to bait their enemies in, but the ones pushing out the side lanes better for the majority of the game, not now, but for the majority of the game, have been Polaris.
Also, what I'm a bit worried about, I just looked at the shop of Army Geniuses. They have 0 wards. They can't put any Tinker wards. Their only vision on the map, basically, is this one in front of Roche Pit. That's all they have. They planted so many Ops wards in the last 10 minutes, plus 10 minutes, that they just simply are moving in a small area. They have no vision advantage. Polaris might even abuse that fact, because when they're putting down sentries, hey, they don't have vision here, they don't have vision here, they don't have vision here either. So right now, they're just taking Roshan for themselves with the wards in the pit, with the exorcism, and Army Geniuses can't do anything about it. That's going to be an Aegis being picked up. The cheese is there, and the Shard is also being secured, so they have everything that they wanted. And now they can just wait for their spells to come back off cooldown and go again. They stop the chrono, stop the arena, and Army Geniuses want to force the fight.
This is a good move from them. They have to go for it because they gave too much to Polaris. Polaris learned from their past mistakes. We need to use the exorcism, but there it is, the downtime. And Army Genius is catching someone on the bot lane can actually have a snowball effect that could give them the win. This is a really nice move.
They need the blink stun from the TK, and they're gonna look for it. Inkswell though, oh, they're a bit too late. The DP suspected something was going on, and it backfires. Army Geniuses, they need to get the hell out of there because Polaris are now back in full strength, pretty much. Shaman's still sticking to the top lane, and so is a Mars, but he won't get the chance to jump on Army Geniuses in the end.
The question that you pose yourself if you're Polaris at that point, how do we lose the game? What needs to happen for us to lose a fight, to lose the game, to lose this advantage that we just got with the Aegis? So the enemies need to catch us close to our base. And I mean, Lelouch, he reads that one perfectly. He plays on the left part of the base because he knows that the enemies can't come from the left. There's a tower there, the triangle is kind of being defended, so they have to be coming from the right. And he's just enough away so that the Blink Dagger cannot catch him, so Lelouch just perfect positioning there, and Army Geniuses, they should be happy that there wasn't a response in a catch. The Polaris probably would...
Dragon is hunting for a Shaman. Oh, he blinked closer to him. Oh. If only he knew. If only he knew. He was already safe. But he didn't. He ended up blinking right next to the DK, and DK has found success. I did want to point out about the Shaman. He's picked up a BKB of his own. So all he needs to do is control. He doesn't need to deal damage, so the Aeon-esque BKB, Shaman can do whatever the hell he wants in these team fights. You hex one, you shackle another, you got another hex coming off cooldown. You can with the if he went for the talent, you could technically hold your shackle on for the entire duration of your BKB with the Hex combined. So you're magic immune, uninterruptible, and you can just control someone. Start to finish.
If the Grimstroke uses the Ink Swell, or if he gets caught,
the Ink Swell
and the Shadow Shaman, if the Shadow Shaman sees the Juggernaut, the fight is just over. He uses the BKB, jumps on the Jugger, and it's over. There's nothing that you can do. He's gonna be hexed up, shackled up. He will eventually die. We talked about the damage from Polaris. So now Polaris are slowly but surely getting all the tools that allow them to win a fight 100%, despite being in a gold deficit. Army Geniuses, we can see just how hesitant they are. They don't see a way to effectively win a fight. They don't see a item that's gonna allow them to do so. They just have to play the fight really well on the side of Army Geniuses, and they have to have better vision. But when you're weaker, it's just not easy to find that.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's not down to just one item winning the game anymore. It's starting to add like a puzzle of many pieces that need to click. So many things that need to go well on both sides in their team fights. Who baits the which spell better? Who gets the better AoE ultis out? BKB downtimes. They're moving Nethermind closer. He's gonna get found though. Pretty tricky catch though, so he will get to walk out of the high ground. Here we go. Lincoln's covered DP with an exorcism. Buildings are taking damage. Glyph has been used. Xenidius moves in very deep. Has to be careful for the blink stun. Azura can't do anything while the Lincolns is up on the DP. Here we go, the Lincolns pop. The Hex is down with the stun coming on. Natsumi, beautiful 3-man chrono as well. They're going to be taking the damage as well as they got Nevermind coming up at the side of the arena. They're going to be taking down DP, becoming the buyback on the Juggernaut. Rubik's going to be falling as well as on the chrono. The DK is going to be hammered down by Natsumi. And there's just no bashes coming in. Is he going to first hit bash? The fear comes out from the siphon of Lelouch. And that's going to be the DK falling as well. 3 buybacks used by Army Geniuses. Glyph used. Melee racks falling. No kills taken. Polaris, with their ultis used, they're going to disengage and retreat. The damage has been done, Harry.
Yep, it definitely has 3 chronos in a fight. I think as a Rubik, you almost never want to steal a chrono from the Faceless Void, because you're kind of the only one that's going to be using it properly. And you have a Juggernaut, not like your carry is going to benefit from the other enemies being held in place. This is the problem. You don't have enough to kill the DP, and we talked about...
Oh, they found the Juggernaut, though. Kill number 1 might take place. The Aegis is slowly dropping. He's got no backup.
They tickled him. It's okay. Oh,
They
but he doesn't have the Aegis any longer.
Yep. It was almost perfectly timed, but the Aegis regeneration allows him to get back to full.
Yeah, and they kind of got him to half HP, so still, that's a full Omni Slash. Kind of comes down to...
I was just thinking, did they throw one of their stuns to pop the Lincoln Sphere off of the Void? You know, like, oh, the Void is here, quick panic, I'll stun right away into the Lincolns.
Maybe they did. Maybe the Rubik made a mistake there. He needed to start with the Fade Ball, but they didn't have the DK. So without the DK, I just don't think you have enough.
Like
this is the problem with Jugger's items. I think he should have gone full damage here. Yeah, Eye of the Scotty. I understand that at some point you felt like we are stronger. The enemies can't fight us, so I don't want to die. But Polaris, during that time, they were gearing up to win this game later on, given the early mistake that happened. But Army Geniuses, they were gearing up to win the game at like 25 to 30 minute mark, and they missed it. So Jugger, he needs a big damage item. I am not sure, maybe Swift Blink, but I just don't see it as being enough.
I feel like Abyssal is what you really want to go for. Abyssal into Swift Blink, yeah. Which order, though? Like, I feel like if you can get the Abyssal onto 1 because of all these BKBs, that should allow you to at least get the Omni Slash off. Meanwhile, Timbersaw, he's got his BKB, but when do you get to use it? Because there's a Refresher Orb on the Mars only to double spear the man. Got a single arena use in this fight, and he's completely out of mana, but they found the DK. Target number 2. Good lift coming out from Narman, though, canceling the shackles, and that's going to be a dead Shaman. Hey, this might pop in his BKB as well. There's the wards placed down on the ground. Natsumi, he's there to deliver the pain, and this DK, his days are numbered. And that's already, what is that, 2 diebacks actually? No, it's just 1. The DK can't afford this anymore. So that just might be game in a way. at least Mega Creeps is looking to be completely taken by Polaris here in this Army Genius space.
You could see the damage issues from Army Geniuses there. They barely kill a Shadow Shaman. Sure, he had an A on this, but come on. And DB, he doesn't want to be part of these fights. I mean, this Juggernaut pick, it just didn't work out for Army Geniuses. Imagine what this game would look like if there was no mistake from Polaris giving that early Roche and the mid lane tower to the side of Army Geniuses. They pretty much didn't need to do so, but I mean, Polaris, even after that mistake, they did everything right. And usually one mistake, if you're the better team, shouldn't cost you the game, even if it's just so huge.
Yeah. And it is coming down to those last picks as well. Like, DK is a great pick, but DP was so much better. Lelouch, 9-1-8. He's a 17k. He's been part of 17 out of the 21 kills. That's over 80% basically on this DP on participation throughout this game. So you can really tell that this last pick worked out so well for them.
It was a beautiful one from Polaris. They missed a little bit of damage, they missed a little bit of tower push and tankiness, and they got all of it in one hero, literally.
They got everything they need, everything they want. Army Geniuses, DK spawning in 3. Might be a chance for one more fight. DB goes in for the blink onto the Shaman. Wants to get this kill at least out of the way. Wards are going to be up in 3 seconds as well. He's got the Omni Slash, but it's just jumping around everywhere. They do take down Xadius. DP dropping low as well with the BKB on Azura. Womi, they also got Nevermind coming up with the arena, placing it down, but DP with the BKB still holding her ground in the middle.
He is still alive.
Targets the Siphon though, and Natsumi with a triple with an ultra kill. Can we get the Rampage as well? The GG call comes out. Come on, let's get the 5th one. Let's get the 5th one. Yes, we can. It's a Rampage for Natsumi, and it's going to be a 2-0 series for Polaris. They will head on to the next round of the playoffs and dropping Army Geniuses into the second round of the lower bracket. So that being said, Polaris, number 1 of the groups of the second phase, 2-0ing their first series. A very dominant start for their playoff run.
Azura, I was about to start talking smack, like, why aren't you fighting, you coward? Fight till the death and just give that Rampage to Natsumi, but he does turn around, so shows some manliness there. Azura, even when losing, he does fight till death. It gives us the Rampage and a great way to end the series. Polaris, though, I have to say, they showed that they're a class above Army Geniuses. I didn't watch their game in the group stages where Army Geniuses won 2-0. But I have to say, there needs to be a lot of mistakes on Polaris that they don't make too many of for Army Geniuses to win. The movements, the drafts, the understanding of what they need to do, everything is on point from Polaris. I mean, in the mid game, they know what their limits are. They're losing and they get 1 kill, they go back. They get 1 kill, they go back. They're using their spells perfectly. They're using them in good parts of the map. They're split pushing when they need to. I mean, everything was done well by this team. So, you know, one mistake, not going to cost you much. Army Geniuses, they're not a bad team, but Polaris just on another level today.
And also with Army Genius,